fully made using parametric design. They also created the iconic Bilbao Museum using parametric design. So now we'll talk about practical use. So there are a lot of softwares that you can design jewelry in with parametric design. There is Katia, ProInżynier, Dynamo, and for example Grasshopper. Grasshopper, I think it is the most popular program software because it is free plugin for Rhinoceros from 2007. Since Rhino 6 it is an integral part. There are many plugins available on the Rhino platform. There is also a lot of tutorials on YouTube, a lot of forums like grasshopperfit.com or Mackin forum. And the most important thing, it is visual scripting. So we have components like this. On the left side we have input of data and output of data. And when we want to make a solid, we need to bake it. So it is a good thing for the designers like me, because I don't know how to program. And here you can see the example work with Grasshopper. On the left side you have Rhino, on the right side you have Grasshopper interface. So there you have a lot of components, a lot of wires, and they are connected to each other. You just take one side and put it to another side, and then you have the number sliders when you can change the parameters and it change the whole form. When I'm talking about parametric design, I need to talk also about Patrick Schumacher, who is right now the head of the Zaha Hadid Architects, and he was the right hand of Zaha. In 2008, during the Venice Architecture Biennale, he introduced the name of parametricism, and it was written in 2009. The ism ending was very controversial because many people don't agree with that it is because it takes on the character of stylistic movement, and they didn't agree with it. Here are some examples in architecture. We see that the buildings are very complex and interesting, of course. So now I will show you some examples. This is the roof of Złote Tarasy shopping center in Warsaw, and I would like to focus on that roof. The inspiration for creating the roof of Złote Tarasy was the Warsaw parks that survived the war, or more precisely the treetops. The main goal of this project was to create an atmosphere of being outdoors, while at the same time providing protection from the cold, rain and snow. The form of the roof is designed so that water falling on it does not stop in any place. Another example is Voronoi helmet. This is the generative design, so generative techniques, and it is an original mesh on the surface, and it provides optimal shock absorption and reduces its weight. Under the mesh there is a layer of glass fiber which additionally strengthens the helmet construction. Here we can see other examples of masks made by Mox Design. These objects are example also of generative techniques. It was their personalized mask with very complex geometries. After printing they are ready to wear, and also the 3D scanning was used with this design. Each mask is unique and created for a specific user, and they were created as implants replacing the human body. Here we can see the example from fashion industry. So this dress all made in parametric design and printed in one piece. Another example is food made by Rod Stewart. He used a 3D scanner to create personalized shoes that are perfectly tailored to a specific food. And they were printed on multi-material 3D printer, providing the right amount of flexibility and support. Here we can see some example from medicine. It is fracture dressing. So the computer calculates the optimal generated pattern and structure of the dressing with the denser material concentrated on the area of the fractured bone, providing support and protection. Here we can see also the example from automotive. So this is the concept car made by Ayub Ahmad, and the designer took three main parameters in this project: the strength, minimum weight, and the aerodynamics. So the car looks like a skeleton, and it is currently in the conceptual phase. Now I would like to tell you some few words about my jewelry collection. So last year I published my doctoral dissertation entitled Open World Jewelry Created Through Parametric Design and Generated Techniques. My doctoral supervisor was Professor Andrzej Gost. The final result of my work was free collection, the fluidium that you can see also in HoloCube in this white box, the fusion and vertex. So fluidium, a name fluidium reflects the nature of these projects, which seems to almost move and flow in space. They are very soft flowing lines. It was my first collection where I could experiment with parametric design in search of the right form. During its creation I acquired skills in using the Grasshopper program, encountered of course a lot of problems and challenges related to design. And now I will show you how it was made. So first I made two circles, then I divided them by points, then I put the lines through them and made some thickness. And that was the first model. And in free collection we see that there are the lines, so that's why the first project is very simple. The definition looked like this at the start. And after that I started to use function like mirroring, multiplying lines, rotation, arraying polar. So I slowly started shaping the form and building up the definition. I also added at the last three examples the different line thickness to make the form more dynamics. And if you can see that the definition getting bigger and bigger. On the next models I have played with the upper and lower part and transformed it. The characteristic of these rings from F14 to F21 is that they are rings but without the typical bend for the ring. So the definition. And this is how you can wear it between two fingers. So with model F22 I made some experiment. I decided to put random values to the sliders, and I wanted to confirm that the form and aesthetic are created by a human, not by a program. And as you can see, a big mess was created, which I tried to sort out in the last model from this photo. Then I started modifying the objects, but by creating larger models that almost cover the entire hand. And in that case, I have to transform the lower part of the model to look more like a ring, so that it would be more for the ergonomics of wearing. In the next 6 transformations, I try to adjust the scale of the rings to make them comfortable for everyday use. I made 31 rings. I also create 4 bracelets and 1 necklace. And this is the example of the first bracelet. So I took the upper part of model F16, I mirrored that, rotate, and put some additional lines, and that is how I create the bracelet. Here we can see the set of jewelry, the ring, the necklace, and the bracelet. And on the right side, this is the final definition. There is almost 100 sliders, so it was very difficult to shape the form. And here you can see the beginning of the model F15. So I made the circles, I divided them, I put the points and connect them with the lines. Then I add some thickness. And started to creating the form, the shape. So it was okay. And you can control everything, the thickness of the line, the height, and so on. Next collection was Fusion, and it was my second one. The name of the Fusion collection comes from the way objects are created, because they are like a puzzle. I moved away from such complicated objects as in the previous collection. And in this technology I used for the production fiber laser. And in Fluidium I used, of course, 3D printer. It was SLS technology, and it was graphite prototypes. First I made some solid, and then I flew it to the created definition in the parametric design program. And thanks to this, I could automatically divide objects, defining their quantity and angles. Despite the fact that we're looking at the same solid, through parametric design, I can obtain a different final result to the form. This is the definition. And when I started to design it, I made a series of line drawings. After that, I made 3D models. And then I put it to grasshopper to make the subdivisions. So it is 26 rings. Thanks to parametric design, I also automated my production. I automatically generated cars for laser cutting from parametric software. And after cutting, the elements fit together perfectly, and it was possible to put them like a puzzle. So here you can see the sheets of aluminum and the laser cut. And the final designs. And the final definition. And now my last collection. The name of the collection comes from the English word vertex, and because the principle of operation in this case of definition is based on vertex. And when I was creating this collection, I tried to make it as commercial as possible. The principle of creating objects is similar to the Fusion collection. First, there was a base, and then I put it to the software. In this collection, I used generative techniques, and of course, 3D printing. So, the system of doing that was that I made, here in the example, the box, that I randomly scattered points in it. So I had control over the quantity, but not the exact location. So in the first picture there are 100 points, second 50 points, and the last 20. Then I connect these points with each other, So you can see the same number of points, but the number of connection is changed. In the first example, 1 point connects with the 2 closest points, in the second with 5, and the last with 10. In my work I used also something that called attractors. Thanks to attractors I could change smoothly the diameter of the lines. And here on the example print you can see the changes of parameters. And here we can see the example of solid and the resulting object. And here are a few samples of the pieces that I made. So half of the collection was made in transparent resin, and half of them was made in gold, white and yellow gold. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for showing us the process of the parametric design. It was very interesting.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because there is, the relations between art and design are very quickly changing now with new technologies and artificial intelligence. So you have a large practice in this field. What would you say, what are the most important points in the whole work of designer artists where your decision makes, or your choice goes to design or to art? Where are they? Well, at the beginning and the middle and end.
But with the parametric design?
Yes.
Okay, so when you parametrize the object, you will fully control.
Can you use the microphone, please?
Okay. So if you have the object in parametric design, you fully control the form, so you can shape it. The one thing is to know the knowledge of using the parametric design like grasshopper, and the second thing is to shape the aesthetic form. And sometimes with my project, I was playing with the sliders almost 1 hour, 1.5 hours to get the perfect form for me.
Yeah, but I mean, you have a lot of solutions, and then your decisions say this one, and
Yeah.
I develop this, and then I say that's my final product.
Exactly. So the human make a decision, not the software.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yes, but you have the whole software as a tool.
Yeah, but it is only the tool.
Yes, that's what I maybe wanted to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Well, can I connect to that question, please? Why do you need complete control?
Because, as you can see on model, it was F22 when I put randomly numbers of sliders. It was a big mess. It looks not so good, and it was you can't print it because it was so messed up. It did not work. It can sometimes, but mostly no.
Can I add another question? Is there time?
We still have 2 minutes.
How would you think the statues of, for instance, Michelangelo would have looked like if he would have sliders?
I don't know, it is sculpting, so something different than parametric design. It is mostly geometric jewelry, but also you can put some mathematics equation and make organic ones. But the sculpting is something different. When you want to sculpt something, you use ZBrush and you sculpt on the tablet.